After studying this module, we shall be able to appreciate the overview of WTO agreements, understand some of the important agreements of WTO, appreciate the scope of the Agriculture Agreement of WTO, know about the guiding principles behind SPS and TBT agreements, explain GATS and TRIPS, which have broadened the scope of multilateral trading systems. WTO, the successor of GATT, was formed in the eighth round, or the Uruguay round of negotiation of GATT in 1994. The WTO agreements updated the provisions of GATT. WTO agreements are the heart of WTO and are often called the WTO's trade rules. The Uruguay round updated General Agreement for Tariffs and Trade, and GATT 1994 was established to define rules for trade in goods under WTO. With the emergence of WTO, Uruguay round also led to the creation of rules for trade in services covered under GATS, relevant aspects for intellectual property covered under TRIPS, Dispute Settlement and Trade Policy Review (TPRM). Although goods, services, and intellectual property are the three major components of WTO agreements. The major structural areas of WTO agreement are the Umbrella Agreement, also known as the Agreement Establishing the WTO. The agreement contains the provisions relating to the formation of WTO, its membership, its structure, decision-making bodies, etc. WTO agreement for goods, services, intellectual property of trade are covered under General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, General Agreement on Trade in Services, and trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, respectively. Dispute settlement. Dispute settlement mechanism of WTO ensures smooth flow of trade and also for enforcing WTO rules. And the last area is the transparency, which is ensured through the Trade Policy Review Mechanism. TPRM involves periodic, collective, and intensive appreciation of trade policies and practices of all member nations and evaluating their impact on the functioning of multilateral trading systems.
The structure of WTO agreements has four major areas, and these are the Umbrella Agreement, also known as the Agreement Establishing the WTO. The Umbrella Agreement not only encompasses the agreement establishing the WTO but also covers its annexes. Marrakesh Agreement led to the establishment of WTO and also provided for the future framework of negotiations amongst member nations. The agreement contains the provisions relating to the formation of WTO, its membership, its structure, and decision-making bodies. WTO agreements for each of the three broad components, goods, services, and intellectual property of trade, exist. Out of these three areas of trade, the two largest areas, goods and services, have three common outlines but with different details. Firstly, the broad or basic principles where goods are covered under the provisions of the General Agreement on Trade and Tariff (GATT), that is, services are covered under General Agreement on Trade and Services, which is known as GATS. Moreover, trade related aspects of intellectual property, which is known as TRIPS, also falls in this segment only and not in the rest of the two outlines. The third outline covers the market access commitments. The extent of market access of a member nation is identified by the number of specific foreign products or service providers who have access to the markets of other trading partners. Member nations can have a detailed schedule or list of market access commitments. Under GATT, the commitments can be in the form of tariffs on goods in general and a combination of tariff and quotas for some specific agricultural products. Under GATS, the commitments are defined in terms of how much access the service providers will have in the foreign market for a specific service. Even the member countries having a list of types of services for which MFN principle is not applicable is provided. The dispute settlement. Dispute settlement mechanism of WTO ensures smooth flow of trade and for enforcing WTO rules. Dispute settlement is based on the agreement and commitment. When one of the member nations violates the agreements or commitments made to WTO, a dispute arises. An agreement is an outcome of a negotiation amongst the member nations. Therefore, ultimately, the responsibility of dispute settlement lies with the member nation through the process of dispute settlement. Transparency. Transparency in trade policies is necessary. Therefore, there is a mechanism called Trade Policy Review Mechanism. TPRM involves periodic, collective, and intensive appreciation of trade policies and practices of all member nations and an evaluation of their impact on the functioning of the multilateral trading system. The purpose of TPRM is to improve adherence by all members towards the rules and commitments made under the multilateral trading system and to smoothen the functioning of WTO agreements in order to achieve greater transparency and understanding of trade policies and practices by member nations.
Three major components of WTO are General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, General Agreement for Trade in Services and Intellectual Property Agreements, that is TRIPS. Let us discuss these. The provisions of GATT has agreements or annexes which deal with a specific sector or issue covered under the outline of additional details. Some of the sectors that GATT comprises of are agriculture, health regulations for farm products, textiles and clothing, product standards, investment measures, etc. General Agreement for Trade in Services (GATS) is a vital outcome of the Uruguay round of multilateral trade negotiation. GATS is considered to be the first ever set of multilateral and legally enforceable rules covering international trade in services. There are various services covered under GATS such as business, communication, construction and engineering, distribution, education, environment, and finance. All these services can be traded, including education. Generally, the services can be traded in four different ways depending upon the method of supply. These four ways are: consumer of the service residing in country X travels to supplier country Y. For instance, a patient going abroad for treatment or a student going abroad to study in a foreign university. Cross-border supplies to the consumer country X. For example, country Y providing distance education in country X. Suppliers commercially available in consumer country X, for instance, offshore foreign healthcare, foreign universities, etc. The supply of service providers in person in the consumer country X, for example, doctors, researchers, professionals, and other skilled workers traveling to country X. Intellectual property agreement covered under TRIPS. deals with rules relating to trade and investment in ideas and creativity. The areas covered by the TRIPS agreement include copyright and related rights, trademarks, including service marks, geographical indications, industrial designs, patents, etc. Rights are given to the creator to prevent others from using their creation in the form of copyrights, patents, registered trademarks, etc. The basic aspects covered under TRIPS are the basic principles that cover international intellectual property agreements, to provide adequate protection to intellectual property, how countries should enforce these rights within their own boundaries, and settlement of disputes relating to intellectual property rights between members of WTO. Similar to GATT and GATS, TRIPS is also governed by two basic principles of WTO, that is, most favored national treatment, MFN, and national treatment. Let us now proceed to WTO Agreement on Agriculture. WTO Agreement on Agriculture, AOA, provides specific rules and provisions regarding the liberalization of agricultural products. AOA came into effect in the 1995 in the Uruguay round. The objective of the agreement was to bring reforms in agriculture sector by streamlining the existing global agricultural trading sector and to make it more market oriented for member nations. AOA came up with measures like reduction in domestic subsidies, reduction in the volume of subsidized exports, and increasing the market access opportunities for agricultural products. The move to introduce AOA was to promote fair and free agricultural trade among member nations. The Agreement on Agriculture came up with three major aspects towards liberalization of agricultural products, that is, market access, domestic support, and export subsidies. The first major aspect is market access. Market access component of AOA covers two areas. The first one is tariffication, which involves removal of all non-tariff barriers which cover quantitative restrictions such as import bans, import quotas, and export-import licensing to be converted into tariffs. And such tariffs are binding on all agricultural products and for all nations, but the tariff cuts have to be progressive. And the second one is the minimum and current access volumes. Member nations have to establish minimum level for imports as a portion of domestic consumption.
Market access is about the components of the AOA. It covers two areas. First, uh, tariffication, which involves removal of non-tariff barriers, which covers quantitative restrictions or QRs, such as import bans, import quotas, and export uh, import licensing to be converted into tariffs. That is, all these forms of non-tariff barriers are to be converted progressively into tariffs, and such tariffs are binding on all agricultural products and for all nations, but the tariff cuts have to be progressive. 36% was stipulated as the average reduction by developed countries within a tenure of 6 years, and 24% was to be the average reduction by developing countries within a period of 10 years. Secondly, the market access also covers the minimum and current access volumes. Members who have to establish minimum levels for imports as a proportion of domestic consumption. In addition, countries need to maintain the current level of imports for each agricultural product with a base year as 1986-88.
Domestic support. Domestic policies and support enhances domestic agriculture production, but on the other hand reduces trade or import. Domestic support measures can be classified into three categories, namely Amber Box. It covers all those measures which have direct impact on domestic production and distorts trade. This classification is said to be Amber Box as it signifies amber color of traffic light, which indicates slow down. Therefore, WTO members have agreed to reduce these supports in order to boost trade. Green Box. The measure covers all those supports which do not have direct impact on domestic production. Generally, it covers government assistance on services like research and development, training, environmental protection, etc. Green box signifies green color of traffic light, implying that these are permitted without any restriction for member nations. Blue box. It encompasses the support which can directly be given to domestic farmers to limit production. The support includes some direct payment to farmers, and there is no limit on blue box support. Export subsidies. Countries not having domestic export subsidiaries covered under AOA are not required to provide such subsidies unless such subsidies are part of members' lists of commitment. But countries having export subsidies are required to substantially reduce such export subsidies. But contrary to the provisions of AOA, to reduce or even remove huge agricultural subsidies, developed countries like EU and US are able to provide high agricultural subsidies to the farmers as they have smartly made the use of three categories of AOA, that is, amber box, blue box, and green box. With huge subsidies, EU and US have overproduction and dumping tendencies, leading to the distortion of international trade. Such a move is hampering the interest of farmers in the developing nations, which are compelled to lower the subsidies. Agreement on the application of sanitary and phytosanitary measures, SPS agreement. SPS agreement came into force with the establishment of WTO in 1995 and was negotiated during the Uruguay round of GATT. SPS agreements provide measures for nations to improve human health, animal health, and phytosanitary situations. SPS agreement covers two aspects, international trade and health. Although the health component of SPS ensures the measure taken by WTO members to combat risk associated with import that deteriorates human, plant, and animal health of life, whereas international trade aspect of SPS agreement ensures that the health measures taken should not be arbitrary or non-scientific, leading to distortion of international trade. The basic pillars of SPS agreement are harmonization. The principle of harmonization allows member nations to form international standards, guidelines, and recommendations. Equivalence. Measures are taken for protection by the importing country in order to support the equivalence principle. Appropriate level of protection, ALOP. SPS measures are said to be appropriate if the WTO members undertake sufficient steps to protect human, animal, and plant life or health within its own territory. Risk assessment. Risk assessment measures and even evaluates the potential negative impact on human, animal, and plant health of products imported or exported. Regional condition. WTO members should alter the regional conditions both for source from where the product originates and the destination to where the product reaches. Transparency. Each WTO member should formally state all SPS measures taken and even notify any subsequent alteration that is done.
The principle of harmonization allows member nations to form international standards, guidelines, and recommendations. The three international standard setting bodies under SPS agreement, that is sanitary and phytosanitary agreements, are The International Plant Protection Convention IPPC dealing with plant health, the World Organization for Animal Health OIE dealing with animal health, and the Codex Ailment Aries Commission, which is in short called Codex, for dealing with food safety. There is a question of equivalence. The exporting country validates the appropriate measures taken for the protection by the importing country in order to support the equivalence principle. The appropriate level of protection ALOP under SPS talks of SPS measures that are said to be appropriate if the WTO members undertake sufficient steps to protect human, animal and plant life or health within its own territory. ALOP are developed by each WTO member for their respective territories, but as such measures should not be conflicting with trade. Risk assessment. Risk assessment are measures and evaluates the potential negative impact on humans, animals and plant health or life arising from the contamination or toxification of products that are imported or exported. Regional conditions. WTO members should alter the regional conditions both for source from where the product originates and the destination to where the product reaches. The purpose is to support SPS measures and identify pest-free areas or low pest areas. Transparency. Each WTO member should formally state all the SPS measures taken, even to notify any subsequent alterations that have been done. In addition, an agency should be established to notify SPS measures taken and to support any inquiry dealing with SPS related queries.
Agreement on technical barriers to trade. TBT ensures technical regulation and standards, listing and certification procedures so that there would not be any unnecessary obstacles to trade. The agreement prevents restriction on trade for technical need, but supports technical assistance required for legitimate objectives such as consumer protection, national security, and environmental protection. The agreement is applicable on consumer products, including both industrial and agricultural products. The agreement takes care of MFN principle of WTO and hence prevents any member from discriminating import products vis-à-vis domestic products. The member nations should take necessary steps to boost least restricted trade, and they should clearly state the standards at the time of entering into an agreement. TBT agreements are encouraging WTO members to support international standards except where these standards are inappropriate. However, the provisions of the agreement provide liberty to member nations to discriminate for issues like health and life of humans, animals, and plants, environmental protection, consumer interest, and national safety. TBT supports SPS agreement and provisions of TBT are not applicable to measures covered under sanitary and phytosanitary support covered under SPS agreement. In a nutshell, the agreement tries to achieve the objective of less restricted trade among the member nations. We can briefly illustrate some of the problems faced by Indian exporters. EU has established standards for milk and milk products even higher than International Animal Health Code IAHC. EC banned fishery import from India on the grounds of inadequate infrastructure and hygiene. Japan found problems with egg products, saying they contain excessive BHC beta isomer levels, but by testing the same in Belgium and Bangalore, it was found that the BHC levels were below the detectable limits.
The Agreement on Technical Barriers to Trade (TBT) came into force in 1995. As per WTO, TBT ensures technical regulation, standards, listing, and certification procedures that do not create unnecessary obstacles to trade. The agreement prevents restrictions on trade for technical need, but suppose technical assistance required for legitimate objectives such as consumer protection, national security, and environmental protection. The agreement is applicable on consumer products, including both industrial and agricultural products. The agreement takes care of MFN principle of WTO and hence prevents any member from discriminating imported products vis-a-vis domestic products, even other imports from a different nation on the basis of technical regulations, standards and conformity. The member nations should take necessary steps to boost least restrictive trade, and they should clearly state the standards at the time of entering into an agreement. TBT agreements are encouraging and have encouraged WTO members to support international standards except where these standards are inappropriate. However, the provisions of the agreement provide liberty to member nations to discriminate for issues like health and the life of human beings, animals and plants, environmental protection, consumer interest and national safety. TBT supports SPS agreements and provisions of TBT are not applicable to measures covered under sanitary and phytosanitary supports covered under the SPS agreement. In a nutshell, the agreement tries to achieve the objective of less restricted trade amongst member nations. Even the standards set by developed countries are either beyond the technical competence of developing countries or arbitrarily set on the high side, which makes it difficult for exporters to meet. In large number of cases, the exporters in developing countries like India are not given enough time to adjust with the modification in the standards set by developed countries. We can briefly illustrate some of the problems faced by Indian exporters. EU has established standards for milk and milk products even higher than the International Animal Health Code IAHC. EC banned fishery imports from India on the ground of inadequate infrastructure and hygiene. Japan found a problem with the egg products, saying that they contained excessive BHC, which is beta isomer compounds, and the level was so high by the testing and such that a similar case arose between Belgium and Bangalore. Similarly, export to some of the developed countries requires costly certification processes which hamper free movement of goods and services across borders.
Doha Development Agenda, commonly known as the Doha Round, is the latest round of negotiation among WTO members. The round began at the fourth ministerial conference in Doha in 2001. Around 20 issues were listed in the Doha Declaration with major objectives such as lowering trade barriers, improving the prospects of developing countries, revision of trade rules, etc. However, some of the rounds under Doha Development, Cancun Round 2003, Hong Kong Round 2005, were a major failure. The major was seen among the member nations on issues such as agriculture, including cotton, industrial tariff and non-tariff barriers, services, and trade remedies. Let us now recapitulate what we have learned in this module. We have discussed WTO Agreement on Agriculture, the three major aspects of AOA, the Agreement on Application of Sanitary and Phytosanitary Measures, SPS Agreement, and the Doha Development Agenda.
Recapitulating what we have learnt in this module, we can conclude that WTO agreements are at the heart of WTO and are often called the WTO trade rules. Goods, services, and intellectual property are the three major components of the WTO agreements. The agreement establishing the WTO agreements for three broad components: trade, dispute settlement, and trade policy review mechanism are the major structural areas of WTO. The agreement establishing WTO covers provisions relating to the formation of WTO, its membership, its structure, and the decision making bodies. WTO agreement for goods, services, and intellectual property of trade are covered under the GATT, GATS for trade and services, and TRIPS for trade related intellectual property rights. The dispute settlement mechanism of WTO ensures smooth flow of trade for enforcing WTO rules. Trade policy review mechanism involves periodic, collective, and intensive appreciation of trade policies and practices of all member nations and evaluating their impact on the functioning of the multilateral trading system. WTO agreement on agriculture provides specific rules and provisions regarding the liberalization of agricultural products. The objective of this agreement was to bring reforms in the agricultural sector by streamlining the existing global agricultural trading sector and to make it more market oriented for the member nations. SPS agreements provide measures for nations to improve human health, animal health, and phytosanitary conditions. The basic pillars of SPS agreements are harmonization, equivalence, appropriate level of protection, risk assessment, regional conditions, and transparency. TBT ensures technical regulation, standards, listing, and certification of procedures that do not create unnecessary obstacles to trade. The agreement prevents restrictions on trade for technical need but supports technical assistance required for legitimate objectives such as consumer protection, national security, and environmental protection. The Doha Development Round, the latest round of trade negotiations, considered many of these issues. The major discord was on the maintenance of agricultural subsidies between developed and